I'm gonna keep it real. The reasons why I feel like my wife decided to have a divorce with me, and the things that I feel like she's lying about, and the things that I felt like her cousin could have been real about, her daughter could have been real about. Number one, we all came out here as a family to Las Vegas. We didn't come out here as enemies. We got into one argument about don't be trying to hook up my cousins with the roommates down in Fresno. We were supposed to get a roommate down in Fresno to help pay the rent there, so she wouldn't be broke. I wouldn't have to come out of pocket. Nobody had to come out of pocket because we were struggling. Now, besides that, I was going down there to help her, like to cover her work-wise. You know what I mean? So I went to go do that. I come back home. My wife has a new password, new this, new that. So I'm thinking like everything is happening because of that nigga, but everything is happening because false accusations. You know, he say, she say stuff that she already happened in the past. Stuff that if she felt like that was true, she should have been moved on that. So that's number one reason why I'm lost and confused and still holding on to the relationship, because yeah, I left angry, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that I wanted to still be hurt. That doesn't mean I wanted to still be left on. Now, before I left, we was inside the same house. We might have been separated, but we was inside the same house. I'm talking about withhold water, stop withholding food, and things like that. So now I get blamed for just doing a them on them. You know what I mean? And people don't like it when you do a them on them. When you get them back for the things that they did wrong to you, of course you're going to get even, you know, petty or not. So when I went to Fresno, she withheld the door, locked the doors on me, wanted me to stay there with my in-laws, but at the same time saying that you didn't want to be with me. How can I move on and you want me to stay in the household with my in-laws in Fresno when my whole dreams and goals was all in Vegas to do comedy and more things? Now, I can see if you had a dream or goal to be in Vegas, you in Vegas just 90% of the time just doing whatever you want to do. Now, if you had a nigga, or if you do have a nigga, why is you asking me for money? Why is you trying to play me when you know I don't hardly have it like that? Now, if you got somebody, you got somebody. You don't need me, right? And if that's your reason of moving the way you're moving and doing what you're doing, why would you listen to a 19-year-old or anybody or any of your other kids or anybody in your family that's telling you not to be with me when I've been the only one helping you this whole time? Before we had bad terms and after we had bad terms. Now, I grant you may be hurt how the way I did a you on you and sold the stuff and did this and that, but you locked me out and kicked me out of both houses. Now, I still have my name on the house in Fresno, but I don't have my name off of the one in Las Vegas. And let's just be clear, I didn't have the money for it. You know what I mean? So, of course, I had an income. Of course, I had SSI, but I wasn't supposed to be making a certain amount of money on SSI. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I didn't want to work. You know, I wanted to keep my little free money from the government. But I was able to work at the same time, you know, because I worked before. But it's no more than less than that. I felt like my stepdaughter, while the baby was still in her womb, she could have been told her mom, I don't like John. Like, either one, you know what I mean? And they used the simple fact that their mama wanted to leave me as an excuse or a reason to throw me under the bus, under the default of everything, how they felt for me from the giddy up, which their mama knew already. So all I'm going to say is, how you going to lock me out of both houses and then tear up my things, rip up my things, expect nothing to happen to you, expect me to just be cool and cool and cool and cool, and then want to throw up in my face, well, we was going to work it out after the fact. After the fact, everything went bad. Now, when I went to Fresno, she would have been talking to me in common sense, or instead of trying to withhold problems that already happened before that, she could have been like, all right, I could take my son back to Fresno. I could help my son get back to school. I could do this, I could do that. That was secondary. She waited until I got our stepson back into school, and then to lock the doors on me when I left, talking about, well, you know, the door was messed up, and you know this and that and the third. And the reason why I'm mad at the cousin, because we were supposed to be boys. Like, even though you're related to her and you mess with her because that's your cousin, you don't want to break a bond. But we was boys. I'm mad at you because Every time I try to get you to come out here, you made a excuse. You was like, oh, I got my son, I got court, this, that, and the third, I got job. But now that your cousin needed you to serve me, you didn't have no problem coming out here. Now that your cousin needed you to be out here with her, and not that I was going to start a problem there at the house, but I could have waited for all that. And the simple fact that she still went on with the serving and tried to say domestic violence when I ain't having even domestic violence. You know what I mean? I ain't never went to jail for none of the accusations that you're trying to withhold against me. And I can see if I was cheating at the time and that was the reason. I can see if I was withholding myself from you, if I just really was doing some messy stuff that led it up to that. She the one didn't want to be with me. She the one filed the divorce papers. And she the one tried to file on the domestic violence in the court. Did not do that because I never went to jail for it. And I never did anything. You know, there's no proof on file that I did anything. So when there's no proof on file, yeah, it doesn't mean that I did or didn't. But you never did, so of course it's gonna look like I never did it. So what's the use of you trying to file on me just to have a reason to not mess with me no more? Then on top of that, we get out here and then I'm still trying to help you out because I'm still in love with you, still trying to fight for my relationship. Who wants to give up 13, 14 plus years? Who's still counting? You know what I mean? And until this day, we still consider married. You know what I mean? The people said we got 30 days to reply to this or not. You know what I mean? So we could go to court next year and I can still put my name on the lease, and then she's gonna try to tell me why I should have never took my name off the lease and got out of this. Man, I took it off because I'm thinking that she was gonna try to leave me with a bill which was gonna lead up to eviction, but she wind up having the money for it. So long story short, all I'm saying is 2 wrongs don't make a right. She can't get mad at me when I get her back on the thing that she did, which allow her daughter to tell her my clothes and shoes, and then this, that, and the third, and then things didn't go right between the dudes that she was talking to. They ain't obviously not showing her the love or the need that she wants. Now, if they is, then granted. I just need clarity. Clarity, like, instead of coming up here to 7-Eleven and showing me that you still wanted me, talking about you need gas, why your man ain't putting no gas in your car? Why this and that ain't putting no gas in your car? Why your cousin ain't putting no gas in your car? Why your daughter ain't putting no gas in the car? And I'm only mad at the cousin is because of the simple fact, like I said it once again, bruh, you say you ain't in it, you ain't taking either side. You shouldn't be telling me anything or her anything, but you was telling us both what we wanted to hear. And then you was telling her more than what you was telling me, from what I'm seeing. And you came out here and served me. And then on top of that, you told me the night we kick it on the strip, oh, I'm supposed to be going to court, I'm supposed to be going this. Man, how you going to court, or you got certain days that you're supposed to be babysitting your son, but then now you're not babysitting your son, you're not doing this, not doing that, you just living off of what I started off of. And I wouldn't be feeling that way, bruh, if we normally kick it, drink, and hang out and talk about chicks and this and that. That's all I really wanted. And maybe listen to you about some of the stuff that you was real about what your cousin was saying. Nobody wanted to stick up to my side and say, well, Rita, well, you did start this stuff. You did put the man out. Give him a chance. I mean, 2 wrongs don't make a right. The only thing he kept on saying, well, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, that could be spiteful, da-da-da. But ain't nobody was starting her or trying to tell her, don't do this, that would be spiteful, or don't do that. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't play victim knowing you was in the wrong too, and then try to tell me it's gonna take time. Like, I don't want to hear about it's gonna take time because you heard over materialistic things. That TV I sold, you can get back. Them clothes that I threw away in the trash, you can get back. That paperwork I threw away in the trash, you can get back. Everything you can get back. So that's why I'm thinking, like, I see you need me, but then do you really want me? Do you really love me? I need clarity on that. Don't be in my face talking about this, that, and the third, and your actions showing me that you don't. So I'm moving off of your actions. I mean, I just wish that she could just be real, but I just gotta let go and let God, you know what I mean? And I'm just tired of being misled and mistreated. And that's it, and that's all. I just want her to be real. Look, I'm done. We're going to get to this divorce. Got out of this. And then let that be that. Like, you ain't got to hide who you talking to. You ain't got to hide the reason for the season, whatever the reason why you don't want to be with me, let that be the reason, and let that be that.